Hey, Life Path 7, welcome to Destiny Digits. So let's go ahead and start the reading. So to the far left, it says, this is my handmade deck. And the blue writing, this is an African proverb. It says, he who does not sweat in his youth will extend his hand when old. So this means when you're young, you need to build up the work ethic. You need to build up the pattern of behavior. You need to build up the muscle memory. You need to taste work. You need to taste what it feels like to put a lot of energy into something. You need to fail, right? Because every failure is just another step towards success. So this talks about building up habits of longevity in your youth so that when you are older, you have already planted the seeds. You've already done all that needed to be do. You did everything when you had the energy, when you had the time, so that when rest is here, when your body starts to slow down, you've stored up enough in your warehouse, right? So that you don't have to work that hard as you mature. When you're ready to use that time for self. You don't have to grind because you've done it in the season when it was best to do that in. And so, listen, this is something that could be true about you, but this is something that you could see lacking in other people, places, or things. This could be significant because maybe this is something that you are trying to get someone to understand, right? Or you're seeing the impacts that this has had on you personally, maybe because this wasn't the way in which you were groomed or raised. Now, next we have 8 of Wands. This tells me, this is about travel. This is about movement. Wands are about, energy, a shift in energy. They're about momentum. And so 8 talks about a lot of things coming at you, but these are positive things. This is not a bad thing. This is about many different possibilities. It could seem overwhelming, but the energy, the work has been done in order to get these 8 wands to even come towards you. That's what I feel like. I feel like the proverb speaks to how you just naturally navigate life. 7s, you're very analytical. You're very knowledgeable. And so time and space to reflect, to process, to think, to break down, to review, that's needed. That's vital. And I think you could be proud of yourself, actually, because you're realizing that all of that work wasn't for nothing, right? You're finally able to see the change, the shift, the momentum. You're starting to see things come back to you. Now, next card says, I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. And so listen, fear is something that protects us and keeps us safe. But when it is out of its limits, when we allow it to get outside of its box, it can kind of cloud our judgment and perception of people, places, and things, right? And so this is about really understanding that too much fear chokes the environment to the point that love can never thrive. It can't even be seen. It can't even be recognized. But this has to be something mental that we agree to look for. We want to look for love. We want to anticipate love. We want to know that we're deserving. And so this is choosing to think differently about how you feel fear, look at fear, and when you are really even willing to entertain it. Right? So this is about starving out fear so that love can thrive and persist. But this is a choice you've made. And this is not a choice that you make once, but this is a choice you sometimes have to make every 10 minutes, sometimes every hour, right? Sometimes every morning it has to be a choice that today I'm not going to be anxious, right? Or I'm going to try to limit my anxiety. I'm going to try to limit my memories. I'm going to try to limit the flashbacks that put me in those spaces of fear. And I'm going to choose to focus on everything that is going right, everything that feels good, right? It's about bringing ourselves back to a place of stability. But sometimes a rough journey can really force us to be scared and afraid that the environment is still the same and nothing has changed. And so this is a choice that you make again and again to prioritize love over fear. And then we have the Lovers. And so this talks about a choice to commit to something, right? And so when we let love lead the way, people, places, and things pop up into our life that feel good, that excite us, that we want to give our energy to. But sometimes our past and the troubles can kind of keep us traumatized, and we may not be open. We may be so scared of connections that we don't want to entertain them because we already know where they went before. In the event, this is actually about love, but this is about choosing to commit to things that kind of love you in return, that love you and don't really contribute to the fears, things that don't trigger you, right? This is about being able to be authentically you, alongside something that feeds you, that grows you, that nourishes you, that doesn't feel like the old, that doesn't contribute to the trauma, right? It reinforces the healing that we're doing. Okay, so Life Path 7s, I'm hoping that was helpful. Thank you so much. Take care.